Ashtavakraji says this entire visual delusion is full of you and is in effect intertwined in you. You are pure wise essence. You don't become someone with a petty mind. This entire visual delusion is full of you and is in effect intertwined in you. What does intertwined mean? It's similar to being woven, like a sweater is woven. So what does that sweater exist in? If someone just overlooks it, he will say there is cotton in this sweater. Let's assume that there is a cotton sweater or a fabric which is cotton. He will say that there is cotton in fabric. Whereas if there is a scientist who analyzes in detail, he will say that the fabric is in the cotton. This is what being intertwined means. If someone doesn't observe closely and just overlooks it, he will say that there is water in this river. Water is flowing in the river. This is how people say it. But what is the truth? The river is in the water. If there is no water, where is the river? What we are calling as a river is in fact just water. This is what intertwined means, not as a separate reality, at the very source of that particular thing. Like when you dream, whatever you see in the dream, what is the difference in that which is the dream and the dreamer? Can you separate both of them? This is what being intertwined means. Where is the dreamer in the dream? Whatever you are assuming yourself to be in that dream, you think of yourself as the body, and you have wings and you are flying in the sky, and suddenly your wings caught fire and you fell down. What are you thinking in the dream? You exist. But whoever you actually are, that is, the dreamer, whatever forms exist in the dreams, not only which you are calling as I, but the trees, plants, this and that, whatever is existing, they are within whom? Are they not within the dreamer? Isn't the dreamer within them? Can these two be separated from one another? This is what being intertwined means. Whatever you are thinking of yourself in that dream, you were flying in the air and suddenly fell down in the ocean, and a crocodile ate you up. So, you are not only intertwined with whatever you think you are also intertwined with that crocodile. Even that is also an imagination of yours. Is it different from the dreamer? Who is dreaming? If he hadn't even seen a crocodile before, would that crocodile be visible to him in that dream? No. So, if a crocodile is visible, or trees and plants are visible, or whatever else is visible, what are they? They are your own imagination. And isn't he in each particle of them who is imagining it? Aren't you the crocodile? Aren't you the ocean? Whatever you see in the dream, aren't you the water? What is it that you are not? Aren't you the sky? Aren't you all that whatever you are seeing or imagining in the dream? This is what being intertwined means. It means in each particle. In a similar way, whatever you see, when you open your eyes and see, you are actually seeing within yourself, isn't it? You think that you are seeing outside. No one can see outside. There is no way to see outside. You touch on the outside, but you feel it only within yourself. Any animal, any human in this world will feel it only in the inside. Whenever you are feeling on the inside, you see a tree outside, and you are feeling it in the inside. You are also seeing your body with the tree. Imagine that a mirror is there on the tree. So, you are seeing the tree, the mirror, and your body in the mirror. Where is your consciousness? If you are consciousness, where is it? Is it only on that tree, or the body you see inside your brain on that mirror? Does your consciousness exist just there, or is it present in each particle of whatever is visible? Whatever exists, this entire visual delusion is full of you and is in effect intertwined in you. It means that whatever is visible can't be separated from the viewer. What does science do? It goes to the point in the space where there is something visible. It then analyzes it, breaks it down as much as possible, and in the end, only space remains. but it never looks at the space. It doesn't observe where does space go. Scientists of the inside will do an inquiry about space and not only what is visible in space, because they do understand that. As soon as they observe it closely, it vanishes. Something else is now visible. You are having some pain in the body. Look closely at that pain. Look at the sensation of the pain carefully. It will change. After some time, you will feel that it is no more. So nature of reality changes at the moment your state of mind changes. This is the nature of reality. It is connected to the state of mind. What is the state of mind? The way you are thinking. On what basis are you thinking? You are thinking on the basis of stored memory. You have practiced a lot in your childhood to see the world in this way. You have practiced a lot in your childhood to see a tree like a tree. You have practiced a lot to see an apple as an apple. The moment you break free from your conditioning and see the apple through a new lens, you will see something else entirely. Something which you might have never seen earlier. You will see some fiber, some dots. If you see it with even more concentration, you will see something else, and then something else, and so on. You will say that it is something else. What is the whole point here? As soon as your state of mind changes during the meditation, you start seeing something else entirely. Then you get confused. People get confused if that is real or this is real. As soon as you go deep into meditation, you will realize that this body no longer exists. What is the reality then? Does this body exist or not? It depends upon the state of mind, which means it is all in the mind. This is very difficult for people to understand. It is in your brain. It will become quite mystical. Hence, I won't touch this point a lot here. But overall, the point here to understand is, nature of reality is connected to the state of mind. The mind can exist only in relation to a form. The moment you let go of the form, what remains is formless. What do scientists call it? Space. They don't observe what is this space connected to. Whatever exists in space is connected to what? Space and me. But set aside whatever is visible in the space for a while. Set aside the desire to see it, because what is there in it? You see an atom or a star. The moment you analyze it from a different point of view, something else will be seen. If you change the instrument, the reality will start changing, and it will change at each moment. Now what do you say? There is no value in seeing showing all of this. Let me see where there is nothing in this space, which means there is just space. What happens then? How is that space created, and where does it die out? Things get created and destroyed in space depending upon the instrument. It will be even wrong to say they are created and destroyed. They are visible and invisible. How will it be created? It will mean that it existed. You used an instrument and it was visible. You did not use it and it became invisible. Isn't this simplified? One such thing was put in front of the eyes. This tree is here itself. It did not come or went by some place. It became visible. A plant was visible. Suddenly, you installed another instrument and you started seeing something else. Go on the internet and check out sometime when the smaller sand particles are seen through the microscope. You will see such forms as if we are looking at the entire galaxy. Inside one sand particle, a very small particle. You will also see all the colors in it. That smallest particle has the entire universe if that is analyzed closely. But that is immaterial. The question is, where does space come from and where does it go? What is space connected to? Because space is intertwined with whatever is visible, whatever the visual delusion is. There is no doubt about that. You may see it through a microscope or a telescope or through your eyes, or you may listen through your ears. You may do anything. The existence of space is essential. For the existence of sound, the existence of space is important, isn't it? Sound will exist only in space. If there is no space, where is the sound? What is this space? What is it connected to? Isn't this space connected to the consciousness? Who talks about space? Who sees the space? I see the space, isn't it? What does I mean? Does space see space? Does an inert or a dead object see space? Who sees it? I see it, isn't it? Isn't that sight in each and every particle of that space? Imagine you are seeing a movie on a screen. Where does your sight exist? Let's assume that there is a video recording of yourself playing in the movie. What do you say now? I am present just there. The entire body which is visible in that entire big screen is me. We say it this way, but what are you actually? The body which is visible on the screen is just a recording of your own body, similar to a recording of an instrument which is playing. You can't say that is me, because you are sitting here and watching it, even when you call yourself as the body. You cannot say that is me. As something is visible on that screen, similarly, something is visible in our brain which is like a screen. You also see your body in it. You think that you are seeing in a mirror, but it isn't in the mirror. Where is the mirror? In your brain. Where is the image of the mirror? In your brain. Everything is visible in the brain. Similarly, when you are seeing yourself on the big screen, you think that you are present there. And who are they? They are my father, mother, etc. Who are you? First, put this question up. If you say, I am the body, but that is an error. But even if you are a body, you can't say, I am there. You need to say, I am here. The moment you do that inquiry and you say, okay, as everything is visible on that screen, as an image of this body is seen on that screen, which I call a video. Similarly, a body's image is visible inside my brain. So what is the difference? If you are able to understand, you are not the instrument through which you are seeing. You are the sight, the unlimited sight which looks limited because of the limitation of the instrument through which you are seeing. What you did now is you saw the screen carefully. You then said, my sight, if I am the sight, I am on the entire screen. Understood? If you say that I am this body, you will say, I am sitting here. There is a screen in front on which a video is playing. That is me. If you put in a bit more thought to it, you will say, no, it is one of my images. Aren't you seeing this entire phenomenon right now? Isn't this entire phenomenon an image? You are also seeing this. You are not just seeing a video being played on the screen and there is a recording of yours in that video. You are also seeing, I am sitting here, which means the body is here. There are some other chairs around. There is an entire movie hall. So, aren't you also seeing all of this on the screen? That screen is very small in size, but you feel that you are seeing something huge. The universe might be as big as it is, but you see it only on a small screen. Your brain is so small. It looks huge, but you are seeing a small place inside the brain. If you are listening in the brain. Everything is in the brain. All the feeling, emotions exist there. That is where reactions are. So who are you now? You are saying that you are not the screen and you are not the image visible on the screen. They are just images. Similarly, isn't this body like a screen? So how can you be that because you are knowing it and you are seeing all the images on the screen, including the movie hall, including that screen? As soon as you analyze a bit, you realize that whatever is visible in this brain, I am in each of its particles. Understood? Whatever you see on the screen, the movie screen, where are you on the screen? Where is your sight? Your vision? Whatever you see, your sight is everywhere. Even if you are seeing the moon, where is your sight? It is on the moon, on the stars, the space between them. Is there some place where the sight is not present? That sight is you. When you understand it this way, you will figure it out, you will get its depth. Your brain, which is like a screen. On that screen, what is that screen? It is a dark screen. Now don't imagine that there is a screen somewhere. You are seeing all of this there. At times you see something, at times you don't. But if you observe carefully, if something is visible or if something is not visible, the sight doesn't die. Sometimes something is seen inside the brain. Sometimes nothing is seen. When nothing is visible, we know that nothing is visible even then. Like you are meditating with a mantra in your head. After some time, the mantra is lost, and you know that the repetition of mantra has stopped. But you know that. You even know that the mantra isn't present now. What happens at that time? Peace, tranquility, no thoughts. Then what happens after some time? Mantra returns. You suddenly remember that you forgot the mantra. You again remember the mantra and start playing it again. I've taken the example of mantra. You can also use the breath. This is the essence of meditation. People are mechanical. They never understand the depth of what they are doing. Why are they doing it? If they are observing the breath, they go on observing the breath. What is there is breath. If I sum up the entire meditation, whatever types of meditation which exists in the world, what is its essence? Look at the breath. Keep your concentration on the breath. Okay, my focus is there. What happens now? Some thoughts peep in while the focus is on the breath. Focus shifts there. It moves away from breath. We bring back our concentration on the breath. What happens after that? The pattern of breath is changing. Why is it changing? Because your state of mind is changing. It is so subtle. If you look closely, you will understand it. What is the state of mind? Your state of desires and fears. This is what breath is connected to. What else? You were frightened when the breath suddenly picked up the pace while meditating. Then that fear suddenly went away. Why were you afraid? Because you suddenly remembered something. What did you remember? Some stored images, impressions came to your thoughts. What happened after that? You relaxed. Some good feeling came unto you. Fine. Breath returned to normal. When you analyze it closely, one is the seer, he who sees. One is the instrument through which it is being seen. And the last is the sight of the seer. Seer is the one who sees. One is the sight of the seer. That sight can see through all the five senses and also the memory. I'm talking about that seer. I'm not just talking about the person who sees only through the eyes. Can seer and sight be separated? Is it possible? Impossible. Like fire is hot. The very nature of fire is to be hot. Similarly, the very nature of the seer is to see. It can't stop seeing. It continues to see. It continues to be. People separate them. They are not actually separate. The seer is sight. The sight is the seer, minus the sight. Can you talk about seer? There is no vision. There is no sight. Can you talk about the seer? What do we mean by the seer? If there is no sight in your body, can you call yourself the seer? I am not talking about eyesight. That is in relation to the eyes. I am talking about sight. We can call it as ear sight, eye sight, nose sight, skin sight, thought sight. But I am talking about sight. Minus the sight, can we talk about the seer? Is sight different from the seer? Isn't this the truth that I am actually that sight? Who are you? Are you the eyes? Are you the eyesight? because even when the eyesight is gone, the sight continues to exist in relation with the ears. Ear sight is still there. Skin sight is still there. Taste sight is still there. So, you are not the eyes. You are not the eyesight. You are the sight. Seer is the sight. So all this, whatever is visible to us in this world, is not different from that sight. You may see either through a telescope or through eyes, or through whatever means. Whatever is seen is not different from the sight, is not apart from the sight, is not away from the sight. It is in the sight. Whatever exists in this universe in the sight, and the sight is not different from the seer. This is called being intertwined. You are pure wise essence. You don't need to do something for that. Your sight is free. Even your eyesight is free. What is it connected to? At best, connected to your eyes. It is not connected to the seen. Eyes are just connected to the eyesight. The eye might see whatever on the outside, be it a toilet or a temple. How does it affect the eyesight? This is so simple. Does your eyesight improve by going to a temple and worsen by going to a toilet? What is the function of eyesight? To illuminate whatever is present. Sight is not at all affected by your presence in either a temple or in a dirty toilet. What is affected? The state of mind. The memory is affected. If there is no memory, where is a temple? Where is a toilet? Where is good and where is bad? Where are the problems? Where is the sorrow? So eyesight is free from whatever falls in the range of the eyesight. Whatever exists in the eyesight, because it exists in the eyesight, hence it can't touch the eyesight, although it exists in the eyesight. Even if you remove the eyes, how is the sight affected? Sight is not affected by the presence or absence of the eyes. So simple. Eyes can go bad, due to which eyesight can worsen. But the sight hasn't gone bad. Eyes can die. Eyes will die. The sight will not die. It is possible that eyes die first and the rest of the body dies later. Organs and senses are getting old. They are worsening. What is changing if observed closely? These senses are changing. You are liberated. Neither am I senses, which means neither am I eyesight, nor am I whatever is visible through the eyesight. Neither am I what is visible on the brain, on the screen through the eyesight, nor am I the impressions of whatever has been seen. I am not the problems created due to those impressions. Good and bad emotions are being created. Different actions are happening on that basis. I am not that too. So who am I? I am the sight. This sight is called wisdom, pure wise essence. Wise means knowledge. Knowledge means experience. What is experience minus the sight? What is this world without the experience? The thoughts, whatever they are, however they are, as many books there are, millions and billions, or whatever anyone is thinking throughout the day and night, be it someone educated or an uneducated person. On what basis are they thinking? Somewhere, someone has had an experience, on the basis of which he is thinking or acting upon based upon experience. What is experience minus the sight? Eyes are present. Whatever is visible is present. That screen which you call a brain is also present, but there is no sight. Can we call it an experience? What is an experience? The sight of something is an experience. The sight of thoughts is an experience. The sight of feelings is an experience. The sight of emotions is an experience. This experience is the sight. This sight is the very act of seeing. This very act of seeing is consciousness. And this consciousness is the seer, is me.